listen to the audiobook while they're driving so they
Listen to
don't
that.
waste
It's
their time. There
productive
you
people.
go. There you go.
I'm one of those.
Yeah, and so that's, the book really what it does is it starts off the first couple of chapters is really when I'm in the depth of my despair, and I wrote the first two chapters to myself. One of them, or not the first two chapters, but two of the first chapters. One was about thought, because my thought, as you can imagine, was just changing, and and so I wrote it to myself when I had a good moment, and and then the next one I wrote for myself was called Burn Baby Burn, because it was like, how do you keep that fire going? And
Mm,
I didn't even realize I was writing a book until I wrote those two chapters, and I called one chapter one because that's my sense of humor. Oh, look, I just wrote a chapter in a book. It's that long. And then the second one I wrote, and I said, oh, I guess that's chapter two. And then I went, maybe I'm writing a book. But it took me all the way through that experience all the way to when I was out of it. So it was kind of allowing people to go along with me through the journey.
I love it. I read it, and it's a great book. We will make sure we're going to put all the links. We're going to mention what you are author of, and especially your website. So we're coming almost to an end. I'm definitely going to invite you back. I like to have you back because next year we'll have video. It'll be also video and everything.
Fantastic.
So, what would be like? I'm going to ask you to give like a blessing, a blessing for you already. All what you shared is really, if people implement that if they don't take it as advice, but they take it as like wisdom that actually they can implement in their own lives to turn it around, to actually embrace the hard, to not be a naysayer but a yes sayer unto yourself, to take control of their lives, to find the colossal in the failure. I mean, I could just picture a book title like that. The power of colossal failures. Whoa, by Tab Pierce, and the Tab effect. But if you implement the wisdom, what he shared, he's an evidence. He's the proof, a living proof that no matter what the challenge has, you can actually create, refine your experience and create an upsurge in your life. So give us a blessing, not last words, but just for people to keep creating that future and honoring that future self that we are going to pay. We're going to have to come to terms one day, look it eye to eye and say, hey, I did this. Are you pleased with me or not? What will be your blessing?
Well, I love this because I've never done this before. So
Oh,
this is
cool.
my first time doing this, and I've done a lot of podcasts. So the blessing I would give people is the blessing of waiting. You don't have to respond
Mm,
to everything
mm,
in the moment. You have time to wait, to think, to ponder, to pray, and to
mm.
listen, and to get response, or to get the responses that you need. Allow people the time to wait while you think, and come back with a great response, because the truth is you're going to need to be able to think clearly and respond properly to people regardless of where you are in your life, because that's how you're really going to start to make changes in your life, is to allow yourself time to think.
Wow. Okay, that was pure wisdom, and it's so true. And it even sounded like one of my teachers of the Shaolin monastery in China. Like, he who learns how to pause learns how to decide and lead a war. That's what he told.
Exactly. So much better than the way I said it, and so much quicker.
Well, that's a Shaolin master, but I love what you just shared, because if we don't, I have seen in my life those moments that I didn't wait it, or something that I rushed. It took me to a consequence and a creation that I learned from, but could have had more better results and had more clarity if I would have waited even just a couple of seconds more. So what a beautiful blessing. So
Yeah.
my beloved friend, ally, Tab, I'm so grateful for you, for your family, for all that you've contributed in my life, and all your wisdom, and also even my students and my friends. And I can't wait to have you back next year. And I send everyone my love. Please follow Mr. Tab Pearson on Facebook. He also posts very funny things. And when I say very funny things, he always uses humor, but there's always a lesson there. So follow him. You won't regret it. Get his book, Upsurge. We'll put all the links, and hope to see you one day soon at one of his conferences, because they are incredible, really an incredible value. So I will see you all next week. And with that said, un beso, adios. Thank you for listening to the Sovereign Futures podcast. Be sure to subscribe to Sovereign Futures on your favorite podcast platform and share us with a friend. To learn more about how to design your desired futures, visit delaflorteachings.com/futuring to receive a Futuring Journey audio in English or in Spanish.